Delante West's story is anything but your usual story of an NBA star, from being a converted player leading teams to historical victories to becoming a homeless man beaten on the street. Delante's life was a crazy rollercoaster. But how did this NBA star crash so hard? And where is Delante now? On July 26, 1983, Delante was born in Washington, D.C. His family was happy poor, as he described it, and growing up, they moved from house to house. His living conditions were far from ideal, and his parents divorced when he was just a kid. Adding to all that pressure, his light skin and red hair made him an easy target for the school bullies. His only relief was basketball. He took all the pain, rage, and everything he had into the game, and given how good he was at the game, no one made fun of him on the court. In fact, he was respected and even celebrated. But in 8th grade, when Delante was just 12, he injured his leg and was unable to play for months. Without basketball to distract himself and let his pain out, Delante started spiraling. Realizing that he wasn't coping so well without basketball, his mother sent Delante to live with his father. The move was in no way good for Delante. His father did not care how Delante passed his time. In an interview with the Washington Post, Delante said this was when he began self-harming and taking drugs with names he couldn't even pronounce. He was in and out of the children's hospital constantly, and even the smallest things triggered him. During one of his many visits to the hospital following a suicide attempt, Delante found his refuge in God. A month later, things started going on a good roll for Delante. He enrolled at Eleanor Roosevelt High in Greenbelt and joined their basketball team. It didn't take long for Delante to climb the ranks and become a star player. He went on to become the Washington Post's All-Met Player of the Year. After graduating from high school, Delante attended St. Joseph's University, where he continued playing basketball. As a junior player, he averaged an outstanding average of 18.9 points and 4.7 assists. Along with future NBA star Jameer Nelson, Delante took the Hawks to a record 32 score during their Elite Eight of the NCAA tournament. Delante left school early and was immediately picked up by the Boston Celtics at the 2004 NBA draft. His first season was rough, and he constantly suffered injuries. But during the 2006 to 2007 season, he started making his mark, scoring a career-high 31 points. On February 21st, 2008, Delante was taken in by the Cleveland Cavaliers. He got the opportunity to play as the starting point guard, playing alongside the legendary LeBron James. His time with the Cavs marked his highest and lowest points in both life and career. Everything was great at the start. The team posted the best regular season record with Delante and LeBron, leading the team to glory. But cracks began to appear when Delante began losing his temper and randomly lashing out at his teammates. Things came to a head when Delante lashed out at an official during a preseason game. He was referred to a doctor to make sense of the strange outburst and was diagnosed with bipolar disorder. The team gave him a break, and he began working on his mental health. But there was a lot going on in his personal life as well. In July 2009, Delante tied the knot with his college sweetheart, Kimberly Awad. This happiness was short-lived, and the marriage soon fell apart within just a month. Around this time, Delante was arrested on weapons charges while riding his motorcycle in DC with 3 guns on him. The controversies began piling up from that point onwards. His team made it to the 2009-2010 playoffs with an all-time high 61-21 record. But that was the only record the team set. Shocking everyone, the Cavaliers' star player, LeBron, was flunking, and he was dragging the team down with him. No one could figure out what was wrong with LeBron. It was sometime later that the world found out that the reason was something far more shocking than LeBron's on-court failure. Apparently, Delante was sleeping with LeBron's mother. Delante repeatedly denied these allegations, but rumor has it that when LeBron found out about the affair, it seriously affected the team's spirit and derailed his career. Given the controversies, the Cavs signed Delante off to the Timberwolves in 2010, but shortly after acquiring him, they waived Delante off. On September 1st, 2010, the Boston Celtics signed Delante in for a 1-year contract, but his troubles were far from over. Delante was suspended from the first 10 games after a guilty plea to his weapons charges. When he returned to the 2010 to 2011 season, it was clear to everyone that Delonte was way out of his game. Delonte had the worst season of his career, and the Celtics dropped him. Despite all his troubles, Dallas Mavericks saw the value in Delonte's skills and signed him in for just a one-year contract in the 2011 to 2012 season. During this time, Delonte was living with his pregnant girlfriend, Caressa Madden, in his mansion in Fort Washington. Their luxuries were cut short when Delonte's legal troubles led him to getting barely paid. Matters worsened when the NBA lockout for 2011 saw no NBA player getting paid. So when winter came, he couldn't afford additional heating for his house, and he had to heat water on a stove to make a warm bath for his pregnant girlfriend. Delonte started working at Home Depot and began selling his memorabilia to make some extra cash. Eventually, when the games restarted, Delonte had hit rock bottom. He couldn't get a place in Dallas because of his criminal convictions and ended up sleeping in his car. But when Mark Cuban, the owner of the team, heard Delonte's struggles, he stepped in and got Delonte a place to stay. It seemed as if Delonte had found a steady place in life. Since Delonte was back at his game, the Mavericks signed him up for another year. As usual, his good times were short-lived. Following an argument after a loss on October 15, 2015, Delonte was suspended indefinitely from the team. But given all the struggles Delonte was going through, the team reinstated him the next day. But on October 25th, after another argument following a loss, Delonte was suspended once again. 4 days later, on October 29th, the team waived off Delonte, marking the end of his NBA career. This was a tough blow for Delonte. Basketball had been his passion and his safe place all his life. Adding insult to injury, his apartment at the time had a balcony that overlooked the American Airlines Arena, where the Mavericks played. After being kicked out from the team, he spent days watching fans filling into the arena. He'd still be in tears hours after the games had ended and the fans were all gone. I couldn't move, I sulked. I cried every day, stopped eating, all that, Delonte said. I felt I was so close. There was this perception of me because of one bad decision I made a few years ago back in Cleveland. But in the middle of all this mayhem, Delonte cut a piece of jump rope from the garage, wrapped it around Caressa's finger, and proposed to her. After saying, "It's all I can afford, baby, I'm broke, heat ain't working, brain ain't working right, but I love you," Delonte and Caressa got married in 2013. In that same year, Delonte was acquired by the Texas Legends. He then went on to play for teams in China and Venezuela, but nothing really stuck with him. March 2015, the Texas Legends reacquired Delonte, but just a month later in April, Delonte suffered a serious injury that ended his basketball career once and for all. Having nothing to go on, Delonte disappeared from the world. A few pictures taken by a fan emerged in 2016, but after that, it was as if Delonte had vanished from the world. When the world heard of Delonte again, it broke everyone's hearts. A video of him went viral in the early 2020s, showing Delonte on the side of a road, his hands tied behind his back, and being beaten. The video shocked everyone. His former colleagues rallied online, begging Delonte to reach out for help and acknowledging how serious mental health issues can be if left untreated. But Delonte disappeared again. Another picture emerged in September 2020 that made everyone realize just how much Delonte needed help. The photo showed Delonte in Dallas, homeless, holding a cardboard sign and begging for money. When Mark Cuban saw this photo, he pulled up everything he had to find Delonte. Finally, Mark contacted Delonte and picked him up from a gas station. The next photos we saw of Delonte were the best of him to ever emerge. Mark shared the photos proudly, and Delonte seemed much happier and healthier. It seemed like he was really putting in the effort to turn things around. Reports confirmed that Delonte now has a job at the rehab center he attended. Despite everything he had been through, Delonte managed to turn a page in his life, turning his tragic story into a tale of kindness and hope. And that's how the former NBA player fell from grace but found a way to live again. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and make sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.